Hey guys, I'm Scott Squires and this is Jana Squires and this is Down for Jive, all you Jive tookers.
Welcome to our open topic, anything goes podcast. We're killing boredom.
Yeah.
We're going to help you kill some too, hopefully. We really don't know what we're doing, but we kind of know what we're doing.
Yeah. We're having an amazing end of our summer time, you know. It's that end of the summer where the pool water is perfect, you know. You can grill some food. We smoked some brisket today, and just having a great day. You know, there's a lot of preseason football going on. Of course, baseball season's still going on. So we got a lot to talk about.
It's like the Saints and Chargers have kicked off. It's the first quarter, no score up there so far. So, yeah, we're going to talk about some different things today. Just looking to have a good time, kill some time, talk about some different things. We're as we told you in our intro video, this is a very different format than what we're used to. It's very informal, on the fly, different stuff, anything goes. You're going to be a big part of it. Of course, as we're building the channel, you know, we'll carry a lot of the talk and content until we start getting enough viewership to where they're we've got a good number in here chiming in with chats and whatnot. But for now, we'll just carry it ourselves. Let's see. Let's visit the cat cam.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, the guy.
That's Charles.
I want a life like this. I mean, I'm already dreading having to go back to work tomorrow. Why can't life be like this? I mean, I knew there was going to be a good use for that cheap camera. That's why I hung on to it. So here it is. But yeah, hey, before we get into our topic, let's talk about a couple fun things we got to do this weekend. So last night I went to Haskell, Oklahoma to visit some friends, Will and Crystal out there. We had an amazing time and very different than what I'm used to. I'm not used to go-karting out in a field, but we did that last night and we had an absolute blast. See all those cool hay bales behind us. I guess people make a lot of money selling those if they own a lot of them. So
yeah, and that little road back there is a runway for small airplanes.
Right.
So it was a pretty unique little experience.
It really is. We had an absolute blast. Thanks to Will and Crystal for having us out. And we showed Charlie on the cat cam. He's still holding up his weight. I snapped a funny picture. This is our oldest cat, Leo, and he's got this thing where he likes to lay on wet, soggy towels that we've used as we've gotten out of the shower.
Well, he likes to lay on like clothing, shirts, and stuff like that. But
the
we
towel.
We have a thing where, you know, after I get out, he wants me to lay that down on the bed so he can lay down on it.
Yeah.
So,
which I find really gross because, I mean, it's wet and soggy, but hey, I mean, whatever works for him, right? So there's our kitty this weekend living his life. We told you guys in the intro video we are building this from the ground up. So coming soon. Right now we're just live streaming on Facebook Live. Really through my personal page because apparently you have to have there's a 60-day time frame that your business page has to be up before you can live stream directly from it.
On Facebook?
Yes.
Oh, not 100. I thought it was you needed 100 people.
Well, you need that, plus it has to be around for 60 days.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, all kinds of rules, schmools. But hey, we're going through my page today, and we shared the link on the Down for Jive. That's going to take me a while to get used to. Down for Jive page. You're going to have to go like and subscribe that so we can get that built up, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because eventually we're going to be live streaming. I am live streaming on both platforms at the same time. Right now we're just starting with the basics. So that is what we're looking at. So we talked about some different things. Hey, Jody Champion, Gay Fish back in the house. Hope you're feeling better, Mom. A little under the weather today. Sending you my love. We talked about one of the first things we wanted to talk about on here was losing Ozzy Osbourne. And, you know, you can't overstate the magnitude of this loss. I mean, I think we all kind of saw it coming, but maybe not quite this soon. I thought maybe he'd have a couple more years after doing his last show, which was just incredible and such a tribute to his contribution to the world of heavy metal. You know, here he is on stage in that really cool chair that they made for him, And it's so neat. What a gift to get to have a last show like that with all of your peers and people that have been such a massive part of your career and your life. And I mean, it was really a storybook ending, but very unfortunate. But what I want to ask you about is just his personal influence on you as a music fan, and what Ozzy's music meant to you.
Well, I remember back in '81, I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I think it was I had some cassettes and from someone that needed to get rid of a bunch of tapes, and there was a bunch of them. There was a Blizzard of Oz and Diary of Madman, and I knew about Iron Man and Paranoid, Black Sabbath stuff, and the album covers kind of spooked me a little bit. I didn't really know what to do with it, but I went ahead and put it in and listened to that stuff, and I fell in love with Flying High again, and Mr. Crowley, and all this stuff, and the solos on there were just amazing, and I just could not believe it, because I was nothing but a Kiss fan,
right.
At that time. I started getting into AC/DC, Back in Black, and then Iron Maidens and Judas Priest kind of came later, but Ozzy was definitely one that I got into and when I was living in Albuquerque, and my gosh, I mean, what a fantastic couple of records. And I really didn't even know who the guitar player was when I first started listening to it. I didn't pay attention to any of it, but then they even played a show on the Diary of Madman tour there in Albuquerque, and I thought, wow, I knew that years later, thought, wow, I was there, living there. I could have went to that show and saw that. But, with YouTube nowadays, I delve into YouTube, and, once I go in there, it's like a black hole. And I've been doing nothing but, since his death, been going into, watching all this Ozzy stuff and getting into all of his performances. And of course we were watching the Osbournes, and it's just been a Ozzy marathon here in our house. And of course it led me into digging really into like Randy Rhoads and his first guitar player as a solo artist, and then Jakey Lee stuff, and we just saw Rock in Rio in '85, and what a badass performance from Jakey Lee and the band itself, and finding old footage of like Randy Rhoads and Ozzy, which Randy died at an early age, and it's just such a, oh God, what a misfortune of not having him around to see what he could have done later in later life. But I started just delving into all that stuff and finding some amazing footage that I haven't seen much, and wow, some powerful things going on with Ozzy. And he was just such a big influence on just everyone that was a musician, a rock and roll musician, that you could not listen to Ozzy and think it was just pure trash or anything like that. He was just an influence to many musicians, including me, and he's going to be dearly missed from all of us.
And like you said, we've gone down this massive rabbit hole that we're not done with. I mean, he died a couple weeks ago, and it's like he died yesterday, because we just keep finding video after video after video. I know that there's debate that will rage on forever, and I always hate it when people say who was his best guitar player. There is no such thing in my mind. I mean, it's so subjective. It's what does the listener prefer? So let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, not to cut you off, but I've been on you're the guy that really woke me up to how incredible Jakey Lee is. And so I've been in love with him for years now. But as we've gone back down this rabbit hole, I'm realizing how much I have underappreciated, and shame on me, underappreciated Randy Rhoads, and just how amazing he was. Give me some thoughts on, as far as your personal preference. Well, who's your favorite?
I grew up with Jake because, Randy died so early. I was a young kid. I was 11, 12 years old, but there was a lot of things about Jake that really inspired me. And you had, they all kind of grew up at the same time. They came up. You had Jake and George Lynch and Eddie Van Halen and all these amazing guitar players. And, Randy, it's almost like Jake was kind of both. Zach, he's kind of like the middle guy. He, Zach and Randy, he was like that perfect blend. He attacked the guitar with violence, like you said to me earlier today. He had just an attack that was fierceful, whereas Randy was more just together. He was tighter. He was more
polished.
Planned, more polished. He had it all written out. It was perfect.
I
mean, where Jake was just ballsy,
unbridled, just out of control.
But some of that uncontrollable stuff just sounded amazing. It could lead to really cool sounds.
But this is what I'm talking about, because all this time I have thought Randy's wonderful, he's so great, but he's too polished. Nonsense. We saw footage where he is doing very unpolished, like just kind of crazy, making crazy sounds with his guitar that, he didn't just do it the same way every time. So I have really developed a new appreciation for Randy Rhoads. I may have to rethink my personal ranking. I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I heard Randy, before I knew who Randy even was. I just knew of Ozzy in the tapes, because the cassette tapes, I think they were CBS or something like that, record label tapes, and they didn't have much it was just a regular just inlay card with half of it, and then like all the songs on the other half of the front cover, or something like that. So, I just kind of looked at the album cover and on these tapes, and then later on, after Bark at the Moon and stuff, I went back and got into like Speak of the Devil and got into all these other albums that he put out. And I really, when Tribute came out, I knew a lot about Randy then, but then when they put out the Tribute album, you kind of had to relearn a lot of stuff about the man and everything, which isn't a lot to learn because he just wasn't around much. But it's back to your who's the best. It's just or
your favorite, because I don't think there is a best.
Right. There was a point where Jake was my favorite guitar player, even over. I mean, there was a point where George was my favorite. It's just whatever mood I'm in. They're all great, and you can even get into the debate of who was better, Eddie Van Halen or Randy. But Eddie's just had a lot longer time with it. So
that's true. That's true.
Wow, they what gifts they gave us for our ears.
Help me understand why I can't. I mean, trust me, Zakk Wylde is an incredible guitar player. He's incredible. Why do I always have him in third place?
I don't know. Probably because of the whole bearded. He changed. He kind of morphed into a more rougher bearded guy. He was more started kind of getting. Maybe there's the whole Pantera thing. The Dimebag hanging out with them. He kind of got into the whole Viking thing. But when he was with Ozzy, and you can go back and listen to a lot of his solos, and it's like, whoa, how amazing. Especially now. It's like
yes.
You go back to it, and before you kind of scoffed at it a little bit. A lot of people do because of his
pinch harmonics.
Right.
They think they're overdone, which they kind of are.
He's an amazing guitar player, and there's no reason to put him in third. But the other guys were just more. I don't know, more hair metal probably.
I think that's it.
And Zach kind of went away from the hair metal and kind of got into the grittier side of kind of the vest and the Black Label Society stuff.
That's probably, and we need to be fair now, because that's probably because the times were changing at that time.
Absolutely.
Had he come earlier, maybe been the second guy instead of the first, maybe that wouldn't happen. But we'll never know. But moral of the story is, we have lost an absolute legend who had absolutely amazing guitar players with him throughout his career. There's one thing I want to pull up here, just to kind of put a bow. This is my first time doing this, so I hope this goes well.
And like I said, I was diving so deep into YouTube about all this stuff. There's like who was the first to finger tap and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you can go all the way back to Ace Frehley back in '78. Now, Ace was doing it with his pick. And that was when Gene Simmons found Van Halen and was going to do some things with Van Halen and had Eddie running around with Gene back in the heyday of Kiss.
Yeah.
And, now they also think that he was, was it Terry Gilgore or something like that? Another guitar player that Eddie was growing up with. But Ace was doing a lot of that finger tapping sound, but he wasn't doing it with his fingers. He was doing it with his, with his pick.
Right.
And so it was a little different. And so he said, Eddie was right there watching me, right front row, the whole time. This is before Eddie and Van Halen actually blew up,
Wasn't it interesting? Maybe you knew this, but I just learned this weekend that, Eddie and Randy did not get along, or they had some beef. I didn't know that, but that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna try this here, and then we'll put a wrap on this part of the show. But I think this image will stand with us forever. Let's play this clip here. I think this broke us all when we saw it. So, Sharon is a very controversial figure in the story herself. There are many people who claim that she, has done them wrong. But one thing I will say about Sharon Osbourne, and people may say, well, sure, she loved Ozzy because, that's her cash cow, all the money she made off of him. But when you see a person so broken, we're so used to seeing strong Sharon, being bold and brash, and then she's just, basically broken down, broken down where her kids are having to hold her up. I think love like that just sustains through all of the stuff that they went through, his substance abuse, his infidelity, the stuff that she endured, and yet she's this broken down by losing him. It's a testimony to the power of the love that existed in their relationship, and God bless her and her family.
She was
it's
a
loss.
Hard ass.
Oh my God, yeah.
As a manager, in the music business, there was she has plenty of foes.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
But she's a strong-willed woman, man.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you into your face or behind your back, whatever it takes.
Yeah, I'm not about to sit here and say she's done everyone right, because we know when it came down to the business, it was about her and Ozzy and their cut and their portion. And talking about Jake, boy. Talk about a guy who's willing to just kind of let go, and he still has fond feelings for Sharon and
all
Ozzy.
he really wanted was
credit
for the Bark at the Moon album. He got credit for the Shot in the Dark album, but he didn't get the credit, and he wrote most of all that stuff, music wise and everything. But what a great legend Ozzy is, and always will be. Well, it was Terry Gilgore, the guitar player that Eddie Van Halen, that was the name.
Terry Gilgore.
Yeah.
Okay.
David Lee Roth actually brought him in.
Really?
Probably just to be an ass.
Well, doing this podcast for the first time, we thought we'd get our feet wet with something comfortable. So music, we're always comfortable with that, but we're
comfortable all of it.
We're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And
they had their first preseason game yesterday.
Oh man, it was. So to be fair, we didn't get to see much of it. We were too busy writing.
I watched the first half.
I didn't. I was go-karting in Haskell.
They lost 31-21.
Yeah, I know they did. But wow, it's bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first half, it just looked like, Joe Milton, their quarterback, he just didn't have much accuracy. The team itself looked like they have no depth, not I mean, I know it's a preseason game. I know people are overreacting. I get that. You know, there's been years where Cowboys have lost all of their preseason games and did well in their regular season games.
Yeah.
And then the other way around, where they won all their preseason games and did shitty in their regular season. But, you know, the defense could not stop the run. The offensive line, I don't know what they were doing. They could not stop the Rams on 4th and 6. They on 4th downs, multiple. They were passing all over them. They're running all over them. It was, you know, their running back, you know, was what, over 11 yards per rush, an average.
Yeah, that's not good. And hey guys, I'm seeing comments in the chat now, and we'll come back to you. Thank you. I honestly wasn't expecting a whole lot of input today. I'm glad to see some of you in here chiming in. We're going to get to your comments when we don't have guests. Man, it can be a lot more about you guys and in this new format. So we'll come back to your comments here in a minute. The one thing I will add to what you've said is, when people say it's preseason, don't sweat it. No, we got to sweat it. Here's why. Like you said, yeah, that's the second and third string against the second and third string. What that means is, if our first string guys go down, we are screwed because we don't have much depth.
Right. Now, hopefully our third string quarterback, he seemed to do a little bit better. Hopefully Joe Milton can do better next game, but you know, now there were some good things that came out of it, and I want to say the rookie running back, was it Phil? Oh gosh. Anyway,
I don't know.
Here, I'll yeah. Anyway, he did really well.
Is it Phil Maffa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phil Maffa. He did really well. I think that he's gonna do good. I think him and Blue are going to be a couple good running backs, but yeah, we definitely need to, and the coaching and the strategy, they got to tighten a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
It just didn't look good. You know, it's preseason, it's the first. Hopefully they'll learn from this and they'll get better. But it looks like the Chargers just kicked the field goal, and so they're now up over the Saints 3-0. We are it's at 1st and 10 at the Chargers 15. Yeah,
it's up here right now.
Second quarter.
So let's go to another video, and I'm going to tell you, before I even start playing this frozen shot that I've got right here, the bottle to the mouth. If you want to see the sign of a man who knows he's about to be grilled like a steak, and he's nervous as all get out, drinking anything that'll quench his taste buds. This is Brian Schottenheimer sharing a few thoughts after last night's game against the Rams. Let's check it out.
Joe left the game late. What happened to him there?
Yeah, he got hit on the elbow. I think that seems like initial tests are that he'll be okay. A little bit of a bruise. We'll get some more tests, but preseason football, it's like, hey, Will gets in there, and hats off to Will. I mean, did a hell of a job, and but I think Joe's gonna be okay.
Overall, that start, how difficult was it? Just Joe struggled with the start and defense. How difficult was it?
Yeah, it's definitely not a storybook beginning. That's for sure. We just struggled, and I think it was 25 plays to 6 or something at one point, and that's obviously not a great way to start. They converted some 4th downs, and they controlled the ball. We had the 3 and outs. I think Joe was throwing some fastballs out there early, and I'm proud of our guys the way they settled down, but certainly not the right way to start the game. And that's what you do in preseason, man. You learn from it, and I told the guys, hey, we competed hard, but we got to clean some stuff up. We can't have the penalties, 11 penalties or whatever that was. And at the end of the day, it's like we put ourselves in a chance in the second half to maybe make a run, and we just couldn't gain the momentum. When we scored, we kind of gave up a touchdown, and we got to play better complementary football.
Okay, so that's a little taste of his take on the game last night. Now, I'm going to be fair to this guy. He has walked into an S show. What's going on with Micah Parsons' contract? I mean, here he is, a rookie head coach, getting his feet wet.
Yeah.
I've listened to him. I've been listening to him on podcasts throughout the summer, and I've been telling myself, I like what he's saying. He's saying all the right things. Saying things is one thing. The production on the field is going to be another. But I'm not sold, because I'm already hearing him throw up some words like emotional. I don't know. I heard some things today that kind of concerned me a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want this guy to be a buddy or a bro coach. The thing that the Cowboys need so bad is
a hard ass
to come in there and just crack some skulls and get it going.
Bill Parcells, someone like that.
Yeah. So
Jimmy Johnson type.
I don't know. What's your thought? Are we going to be under or over 500 this year?
Again, I'm not going to base anything off of one week.
Yeah.
Preseason, but it was pretty ugly. So they have a lot. They have a lot to improve on before their first game with the Eagles, and hopefully they'll get it all together. But let's give them a couple more chances here, and we'll see what they do in the next couple of games here. But for me, it's not. I understand it's the second, third stringers out there, but for me, it's about management and coaching and penalties and things that look like these guys aren't being
just undisciplined.
Right. And
it's a big
depth.
red.
For me, it's depth. Because if someone goes down, and we all know
they do,
Dak Prescott will go down. That guy won't be able to carry the team.
Yeah.
So
it's concerning. But like you said, we'll let it play out. It's early, but yeah, I mean there's red flags all over the place if you're a Cowboys fan. So there's more preseason coming up next Saturday against the Ravens, week 2, and then the Falcons week 3. And oh Lord help us when the regular season starts and we face the Eagles. I'm in fear that might be a beatdown. But like you said, let's give them a chance. But definitely hope they get that Parsons contract sewn up, and I hope Jerry will let people do what they need to do and get his paws off. But
there was a
bunch
of great preseason games. I mean, the Bears and the Dolphins, they both tied today. That was just a knockdown, drag out fight. It's kind of what you want to see. Your young stars, your young players, your rookies and whatnot going out there, and people who are trying to get on the team get out there and put in a lot of effort. And you definitely saw that in today's game against the Bears and the Dolphins. The Saints and the Chargers are going at it right now.
Still 3-0.
Yeah. There was a lot of games going on. Did you see that the Patriots went off on the Commanders 48-18? My goodness.
The Commanders left hand up.
And then, of course, you see the punter kick a 70.
I don't think that's ever been done in NFL history. 70.
They make them do it in preseason.
It's like, what are these guys doing for leg exercises? Because, man, get me on that program. I want to get to some of the folks in the chat room. Jamie Hooper talking about Ozzy gone way too soon. Amen, brother. He really, really is. It's just going to be such a monumental loss, and we're all still processing it. Tim Rice is in here. Jamie says back in high school, almost came to blows debating Randy versus Eddie. That's hilarious. I was telling Scott, to me, they're just such different guitar players. It's hard to put one against the other. It's like saying, do you like spaghetti or do you like cake? Well,
right.
I like both.
Yeah, right.
know?
And that it just goes to show, once you start kind of going in and watching all this stuff, and you just, before you know it, you're like, you're watching shows in different countries, and you end up, like they say, what they say when you go on YouTube, the rabbit hole,
Right.
But yeah, you start to appreciate just a lot of cool stuff in these guitar players and stuff that they did and worked on. I think that Randy was more put together than Jake, but Jake was just off the cuff, man. He was just rough around the edges, and he went for it, and it's cool. It's all good. It
is. I did not know that Jake was into punk. And I read that in an article that he said he approached his guitar violently, and you can hear that punk edge to what he does, because what he does is just so it's just so wild, like how he attacks his guitar. He was an absolute monster back in that era, and we wish that guy well too. Getting over being shot, my goodness, what a scary thing. Okay, more comments. Let's see. We got Carl Warner says great comments on Sharon. Thanks, man. Yeah, she was definitely a hard one, but I know she loved her man to the end. Jamie Hooper, love your shirt, Jana. Thank you. This is it combines two of my favorite things, cats and, well, it's supposed to be like rocket science, you know. Get the joke? That's pretty fun. Gay fish back. Tried to watch Cowboys but fell asleep. Not such an interesting game. I feel you on that, Mom.
What sucked is we were with some friends and there was a pool there. We were grilling out. We were riding around on go-karts, and we had two games that we could watch, and one of them was, of course, the Cowboys and Rams, and it was just like, we'll switch it over to the Cubs and the Cardinals, and then the Cubs were just blasting the Cardinals, and it's like, man, we could not have two potential games that were watchable, we thought, and neither one of them were watchable. And you have Molina out there for the Cardinals as a guest manager of some sort, and the first game they beat the Cubs, and I thought, man, maybe there's a potential chance that Yadier Molina was going to be maybe the future
we're going to get
for
to that.
The Cardinals.
That's something we're going to get to in here in just a minute. That you brought that up, and that is a topic here. I do want to get to some more of our comments. Now, this is interesting, Sandra. I appreciate your honesty. Girl, this show's going to be different. She says, really dig the Meowly shirt. Great opening show. Y'all lost me on the football, but I'm sticking around for a bit just because y'all are super awesome. Thanks, hon. We get it, man. Now, you guys are used to seeing music-only talk from us, and this is a different animal.
And we're going to still do a lot of music talk.
We are.
Yeah,
it's just...
There could be shows that's nothing but music.
We just don't want to, like he said yesterday, pigeonhole ourselves into one thing. And we've had a lot of debate about that. It's like, are we doing ourselves a disservice by not narrowing down to something more specific? We don't know, girl. We're just flying by the seat of our pants, just trying to have some fun. So, enjoy the topics that interest you. If there's something that maybe doesn't, stick around anyway. You might develop an interest. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. I want to get my friend Palace on here to talk to us about gardening. She has a lot of gardening knowledge. She actually does it for a living, and he and I are getting real into planting grass and just getting our yard up. And so it's just going to be all over the map.
And grilling food and some awesome recipes. I just smoked some brisket, and I even smoked corn on the cob. Put the corn on the cob on there. Put some butter. I smoked it with just the what do they call it, the shuck, the stuff.
The shuck is on it.
The shuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, just put that in there for a while, for about an hour and a half or so. Smoked it with some cherry wood, and put the brisket in there, and I cut up some potatoes and butter and garlic and pepper. Kind of put all that stuff in there, and it was, to me, it was just it came out just perfect.
What I appreciated about besides it being so amazing was, and this is something the doctor would have applauded you on as well. You portioned it very well.
Well, yeah,
very small portions.
You can cut up a baked potato and put it in half, and and to me that's probably enough and you cut it all up, and it's enough for two people.
It was plenty.
And you can cut one piece of corn, boom, an ear of corn. Right in half, it's enough.
It was more than enough. It was really good, really nice job. If I didn't live with Scott, I would probably live on sugar-free peanut butter sandwiches on low-carb bread, and the doctor would definitely frown upon that.
Now, I did pick up some asparagus. I wasn't able.
Amazing.
We haven't cooked any asparagus except for the stuff that comes in the can, and that's just too slimy for me. But we have one of those Ninja Foodies, and it comes with an extra lid for when you want to steam stuff or pressure cook or things like that. We've never ever used it for that. We never used it, and we've always had it put up. And I was like, man, I want to steam this stuff. Let's try the Ninja Foodie. And I was like, I was watching YouTube on how to do it, and there was like a valve that you release, the steam and stuff. And I thought, man, my lid doesn't have that, I was like, and so I went back, and I guess there's an extra lid.
Yeah, we found
that thing on, you put it on, and you put a couple cups of water in there, and I put some salt and pepper on the asparagus, and I even sprayed it down with a little bit of that butter spray, and put it in there for about 10 minutes, and that came out tasting great.
It was super good. I mean, if your day job ever lets you go, God, let's hope not, you could probably make it as a cook or a pool guy.
We've had that thing for a few years, and we've never used that other lid.
Yeah, it's good.
And now I want to put broccoli in there. I want to steam as much stuff and try all the different features on that thing. It's pretty cool. But
so, hey, you mentioned the pool, and that sparked another memory. We told you this was going to be loosey-goosey all over the place, so I'm going to leave it up to you if you want to bring this up or not. But do you want to tell the viewers about your close call in the swimming pool as a safety topic, or you want to keep that between us?
Well, no. I mean, if you ever own a pool, if you go over to take off the pool cover, or not the pool cover, but the drain cover on the bottom of your pool, make sure you always turn off the pump. Always. And I've done this a few times. I've always turned off the pump, but I have one of those plugs that, if we drain it, if there's a water table under the ground, if there's like a lot of water, there's a valve that pops up if water, and it can come out, and it won't raise your pool, I got scared because I was draining a pool, and I learned that, hey, if you drain a pool, it can pop up out of the ground. And I was like, oh, I don't want that. And I had just a regular plug in there, without it. And they were saying, get this type of plug. Well, debris gets in this plug sometimes, and you'll be noticing the water levels going down. You're wondering, well, is it just too hot? Is it this? And you'll be, so there was a time that I totally forgot that I even put that plug in, and I could not find where this leak was coming from. And it finally dawned on me that there could be debris that's stuck in this in this plug, the pop-up.
Right.
So I go down there, and I picked it up and made sure debris was out there, and I squished it down and everything. And I turned off the pump and everything. Well, the other day I forgot to turn off the pump, and you have to go and get like a belt with weights on it,
right?
Because you can't go down the bottom of a pool because you'll just go right back up. Because I had to unscrew stuff and the cover, and I had to get this belt with weights on it, like a diving belt. And it's a diving. It's called this dive site over on 41st, and you can rent out these belts. And it held me down. Well, anyway, I go down low, take off the cover, and I'm messing with that plug. And next thing I know, my hand just goes whoo, all the way to where the other hole that sucks in the water. And it was a force.
Put your knuckle up there. Show them your knuckle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good and skinned up, and it was swollen. There you go. Yeah. So anyway, finish your story. Scary as
it just sucked my hand up to that hole where it sucks the water, and it was as strong as as I've ever felt. It was like I can't even explain it. It was so fast,
right,
that I knew immediately something was wrong. Like, oh my God, and it hurt immediately. Like I felt pain immediately, and I looked. And I had goggles on. I'm underwater with this belt, and I'm like freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God, that just tore off the skin off my hand. And I'm looking at it underwater, and it's like, oh my God, this thing's going to start bleeding. Like I lost some flesh.
Yeah.
And luckily I got up, and it just sucked probably my skin or my hand to it. But
yeah, and
always turn off your pump if you ever mess with the main drain.
I mean, and normally we do, but he told me, because listen, we had freaking PTSD for the rest of the evening. And of course, what do? We come back in and we start YouTubing, accidents that have happened in pools where people get sucked into the drain cover. And I mean, there's some horror stories. And I finally just said, you're going to have to quit pulling those videos up because I'm having some big time trauma.
I always turn
here.
off that pump, but
Scary.
I forgot because the belt. I was having problems with the belt. The weights kept falling off, and I couldn't tighten it up tight enough. So my mind was all about the belt, getting that in there. And then once I finally got in there, I just went ahead and went in the pool. Totally forgot about.
You could have lost a finger, even worse. And we were just thanking God, like all night. He had his hair in a ponytail. If he not had his hair in a ponytail, that thing could have sucked his hair in, and there wouldn't have been anything I could have done.
Right. Yeah. You just make sure you turn off the pump. You know, I didn't want to do it without you watching, which was a good thing. But,
scary as hell.
You know, I've done that stuff without anybody out there, and that's not a good thing to do because, like you said, the hair or your trunks or something can get sucked into that, and you could be fighting it. You know, it pulls your hair in there, and then you're basically trying to tear out your hair.
Well, the thing that's really bad for you is I can't really swim, and so like if I was out there watching him, but it's like, well, what could I really do?
Turn off the pump. But
like I told you, I had a big lesson learned that night, and I know you've told me before, but anyway, pool safety. Hands down, don't mess around. Pools are they're fun, but they can be very dangerous. So, anyway.
Yeah. And if you can afford it, just have a professional pool person come out there. They'll get in there with their diving gear and stuff and fix your anything. So,
you talked about Yadi Molina, just an absolute legend of a catcher for the Cardinals for many years. He came in over the weekend and was a guest manager for the Cardinals, sat in the dugout with them. I personally think it's a ploy to try to get people back in the stands. That apparently it was Yadi's idea. But let's listen to current manager Oliver Marmol's take on how this even came about, getting Yadi back in the dugout with the Cards.
Called a couple months ago, said he was coming into town, and was looking forward to it, and then hit me up about 2 weeks ago and said, hey, we'll be there in a couple weeks. Really looking forward to seeing you and everybody. And then sent a text to me and Mo and asked what we thought about him being in uniform. And I responded, absolutely yes. I'll take that any day. So we're excited to have him. I'm pumped about it. I've been able to spend a little bit of time with him before BP, man, and just being able to have him in the building and talk through stuff is always fun. I enjoy the heck out of it. This is a guy that treated me like gold during the years I was a first base coach, bench coach, and then I got to manage up to 22. And enjoy the heck out of that relationship. So being able to have him here, he was going to be in town for 2 days, not inviting him to sit next to me in the dugout would have been a huge miss.
What do you hope he can do? Talk to players or just kind of let his naturally?
Man, just let him be himself. Don't put any barriers around what he's capable of. Just be yourself, be around the players, help casually have conversations. But the reality is this is a guy that is really thoughtful in what he does and has a really unique way of expressing what it takes to be a winning player. And he can do that in a lot of different ways. One-on-one conversations, just in passing, but I think with our young group, his ability to do that is extremely meaningful.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
See, I told you it's going to be a little loose.
Let's talk about AI colors.
That's the stuff I got to get better at right there is knowing when to kill those videos. I'll get there.
I have I pay for a subscription to that, so that doesn't have all of the
okay.
So we'll maybe use that. Yeah, it was cool to see him out there. They're not doing too well as of now. The Cardinals aren't drawing as well as they used to be. And I mean, they were a team that was in the top 3, top 5 as far as attendance for years, many years, and so they need some superstars on that team. And right now they are struggling. I mean, if you want to, they're a 500 team at this point, and you got teams like the Brewers and the Cubs in the Central Division, and they are just destroying it. Yeah.
72-44, the Brewers. I mean, who's going to catch
73-44, and they're right now are tied. So, yeah.
So the Cardinals they're not just 4.5 games back. They're 4.5 games back of being in the wild card.
Yeah.
So And we play that clip with Ollie because, okay, so Yachty calls up. Like you said, you and I have been watching the Cardinals together for, 20 years. I have never, until this year, seen the stands as empty as they are. And it's a huge red flag. So if I'm Oliver Marmol, I kind of figure I'm probably on the hot seat. It's got to be in the back of his mind that is Yachty coming down here gunning for my job? Well, what do you think about that?
Well, the new management is coming in, the new front office, and so there will be some changes. There will be some people gone. In every organization, there's always changes. They want their own people in there, their own. They don't want past front office people. For the most part, they pretty much just go in there and clean house and bring in who they want, and that's just the way it is. And in a lot of businesses and politics and whatnot, it's they just bring in their own people. But the Brewers are hot in that division. They just beat the Mets 7-6. It was tied, I thought, and they won today. They beat them yesterday. They beat them the Friday. So the Brewers are hot in that division. And of course, you got the Dodgers always being the Dodgers. The Padres are right behind them in the West. They are back 3 games, so they can catch the Dodgers. And of course, the Phillies and the Mets are in the East. They're in the National League, and the Blue Jays and the Red Sox are neck and neck with the Yankees on third in that division, and the Detroit Tigers are 68-51. They are leading that in the Central Division with the Cleveland.
You can't
Indians.
You can't say that. They're the Guardians now.
Yeah. They are in second in that division, and then of course you have the Astros in the West, and they are 65-52. With the Seattle are doing really well as well. They are 65-53.
So the Dodgers are buying their way to a World Series. There is no salary cap in baseball, correct?
No, and I feel like there should be. Yeah.
I mean, why? So why isn't there? Do we know? Because isn't there one in every other sport?
Right, and there's talks like maybe there will never be that in baseball. I don't understand it. New York and LA, they have all the money, and so these California teams, the Cubs as well. They do well.
Yeah, they do.
You got the New York Mets, and
they're only 5. The Cubs are only 5 back of the Brewers.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Brewers they've been killing it.
73-44. That's an insane record. Well, we'll keep an eye on baseball.
My team probably will not make the playoffs, so I'll be kind of looking outside in. And normally that's not the case for Cardinals, and it's a sad affair to see them diminish of what they used to be, and hopefully this new front office will make some major changes and do some things the right way.
Do we know who's coming in to take the place of John Mozeliak, or have they not named his successor? Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know his name right off.
That's okay.
I mean,
I didn't know they'd already named one. So they've got a guy ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, let's get him in now.
I think he was the one that maybe got Molina to come in.
Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, if you know Scott and me, we are the most geographically mixed up people you will ever meet as far as the teams we like. It makes no sense who we like. We like Dallas Cowboys. That makes a little bit of sense because of where we are in Oklahoma. But then we like for hockey, we like the Detroit Red Wings. That's my fault. And then we like the St. Louis Cardinals. They're kind of regionally close. And then the Chicago Bulls is our basketball team. And it is a dark period for all of our teams right now. We really don't have anyone doing all that hot. So it's been, these are first world problems, right?
Chaim Bloom. That's his name.
Chaim Bloom. Oh.
Yeah, Chaim Bloom as the new president of baseball operations moving forward. So.
Well, I hope now we do have some good looking prospects coming up, right?
Yeah. So they had a good draft, and so hopefully we'll get some of those guys in there and be a better baseball team.
Man, let's do it. Let's get.
I know who's all in there.
Well, we got a lot of people.
Jamie's a Detroit fan.
He is. He said Tigers.
Yeah, he likes the Detroit Tigers, and he likes the Michigan Wolverines.
He's a Michigan guy.
He's a Michigan guy, Detroit Pistons. So, we'll keep our eye out on all things Detroit.
Heck yeah.
I love the Red Wings, so
thank you.
We'll definitely have some Red Wing talk in here, and spread the love to as many teams as possible. I want to cover as much stuff as possible, and that's the thing. That's the beauty of this. We can watch, go live and during big games and just whatever's going on. That's a big event on TV. We can definitely go live and talk about it, as well as weather stuff,
Man, and you know what else I want to do? And you and we have watched podcasters do this, and we get sucked in when there's a manhunt. Like for someone that is escaped from prison.
Yeah.
Or maybe they've killed a bunch of people, which is horrible. But they're hot on his trail and they're chasing him. They've got cameras set.
Yeah, they'll have the travel like planes,
right?
Or there's a helicopter,
drone shots, stuff
coming
like that.
through. He's running out of gas, so here comes another helicopter to go around this field where this guy is hanging out in, and they can't find him and stuff. So
it's just going to be a free for all. We're just going to have a good time. I do want to shout out more people in here. We got Stacy Vance, love your shirt. Thank you, girl. Hope you've had a great weekend. Linda Abate is watching. Ken Young is watching. Adam Sparks, shout out to you. Cheryl Renee, Gary Kinetic Blaze. Pencop is watching. There's Elizabeth. She says, "Oh, damn, that must be about you getting your hand sucked in the drain." Cynthia Shoemaker is here. Yeah, Elizabeth says, "Just saw a video today about kids getting in hot tubs and drowning because their hair got caught in the drain." Y'all be careful around water.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. That kind of shook me up. I mean, for the whole night, because I thought, damn it, I shouldn't be down there messing with that thing at all. So I think I'm going to go back to the old plug and just put it in there and not worry about it.
Yeah.
And if I have to drain the pool, and I'm just worried about it popping out of the ground, and then there's a $40,000, $50,000 problem.
Yeah, it would be a big problem.
I don't want a problem.
We'd have to sell the house as is and take what we could get for sure. Steve Bello, hello. Gay Fishback says, shaking my head, darn pool. I know, you're preaching to the choir. There's Jamie saying Tigers. Yeah, baby, we'll cover those teams for sure. Jennifer Lewis Davidson, she says Pittsburgh Penguins for hockey. Now, I can get down with the Penguins a little bit.
There'll be a lot of Detroit Penguins games going on.
Yeah, back in the day, I kind of followed the Penguins too. I liked Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr. Those were the days. Those were the days for sure. Got a brazier.
It's Chargers are now up 9-3 in the preseason game.
They're smoking each other with field goals, aren't they? All right. Well, so we'll get off of here in a little bit. We are having fun. Here's another one. Hey guys, thoughts on David Lee Roth coming to town this month? Michelle and I have tickets, and we might already want our money back. LOL. Hope it's a good show.
Well,
what do you think?
Yeah, I thought that people were kind of revving, or he was getting some
raves,
some great, some raving about his new band and that he's back and he's got these backup singers and the great backup band and David's kind of been strutting his stuff, which he always has, but he's just been a little more old school and so I thought there was a lot of good stuff that was being talked of.
Yeah. What's up, Jamie? Tell us more about that.
Is he going back to old Dave?
We having some problems? You let us know in the chat what's going on with Dave. I don't know. I still think it'll be a fun show. I would
love. Yeah, I loved the only when I seen him with the Eat 'Em and Smile tour with Cinderella. That was, I want to say, I don't know if that was the convention center or the pavilion. Either way. Then we saw them when he was with Van Halen, and I'm so glad I got to see that because that was the only Van Halen show I've ever saw, and that was with his son on bass, Wolfgang. Yeah, it was a great show, and David, you get to that age, these guys that have been belting it out for years, you know, your voice just starts kind of going south on you.
Getting old stinks. It's no fun. Palace Cleary in the house.
You can
hey,
switch
girl.
your camera over.
I am. I'm trying to do about 5 things at once. I like my camera better than yours, but you probably like yours better than mine.
They both look good.
Yeah, it's all about the angle of the dangle. Jamie says his band is incredibly tight. He's doing all Van Halen songs. Saw the set list. Go to that show and have a good time. Don't worry about it, man. You know, just live a little. Have a great time, y'all. Okay, so how many of you guys are getting ready to dive headfirst into your fantasy football teams? I don't know how many people in this particular chat, but, you know, maybe some. So, Scott, I know you are getting ready to do your league and the draft. And, Mom, don't freak out when you hear this because we're still going to lunch for my birthday. The fantasy draft is on my birthday, Sunday, August 24th. That's when his draft is. It's your birthday. It's my birthday. But it's in the evening, like 6 o'clock, right? So, and what is your team called? The Dallas Haymakers?
Yeah.
Okay, so before I go to another video that I'm hoping will be a little bit beneficial to you as you prepare for your draft, what strategy do you take when you're picking? Do you have certain positions you get before others?
Well, it all depends on where you draft from. So if you got the top 3, I mean, there's always cheat sheets that go around and kind of give you an idea who the top 5 people are, and I usually just go with that and just kind of, usually you want to get, a couple good running backs because they're a shortage of those these days.
Yeah.
As they once were, running backs they had longevity, it seemed like, and now they don't have much longevity. And then there's always 2-3 running backs on a team that they're just kind of going in and out, using this guy, take him out, put another guy in. So you want to get some of your top running backs, because they go pretty quick. So you want to get those guys, and if not, then you just go with the best available player, and usually the receivers. I mean, I think this year that Chase from the
Jamar.
Bengals is going to be probably the number 1 pick. And then you may have Bijan Robinson from the Falcons. He may go first or 2. So it's going to be one of those.
Now, you destroyed in your league last year with the combo of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. If you get the chance to get both of them, are you going to do it again?
I don't know. For me, I try to get the best running backs and receivers first, and then I'll come back and get a decent quarterback. A lot of these guys in my league, they'll go after the Mahomes and the Bills quarterback. What's his name?
Allen.
Yeah,
Jared Allen.
And so they'll get these guys and
Josh Allen,
and they'll go after the Eagles quarterback. But I just wait, and I'll get like a Joe or someone that's decent enough, even like a Dak Prescott or somebody. They'll be down there. So I just kind of wait, and they usually will get me enough points as long as I got good running backs and good receivers. And of course, I always wait around for kickers and anything like that. I don't have too much value for those.
Let me put this up for you, and then we'll play a quick little video, and then we'll start getting ready to get out of here. So here's the fantasy cheat sheet. You just mentioned Josh Allen. So top 5 quarterbacks listed are Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, and Joe Burrow. Are you a little shocked that Patrick Mahomes has fallen to number 6, or is that just because the Chiefs are kind of maybe not quite as hot as they used to be, or people don't think that they're as hot as they used to be?
Well, they definitely probably shouldn't. Because
shouldn't pick him higher?
No.
Oh, shouldn't think that.
Right, gotcha. Shouldn't think that because he's always shown us otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever count that guy out for anything. I mean, but as you age, everyone declines and everyone kind of, falls down.
It happens.
But
go ahead.
They say like Bijan Robinson is supposed to be a a good pick,
He's
and
number
I had
2.
him last year, and it's like, well, yeah, he's good if they use him, but sometimes they weren't using him, and it's like you got one of the best running backs, and they're throwing all the time. It's like, damn it, you got this guy, throw him. Like, if you're gonna throw like a couple screen passes to my guy Robinson, he'll get you some yards, and it's like, it just drives you crazy. And that's one of the worst things about fantasy football is you no longer, like, you find yourself rooting against players that it's on your fantasy team against your own personal favorite team. It's like, well, he scored a touchdown on my favorite team, but at least he's my guy.
Yeah,
I get the
it's messed up. It's really a twisted way to watch football, but man, it can get fun, and it can get absolutely frustrating too. So let's do top 5 running backs. Saquon Barkley, no shock, he's at the top. Bijan Robinson, that's the guy you just mentioned. They've got him at number 2. Jahmyr Gibbs, number 3. Derrick Henry, number 4. Ashton Genty, number 5. So that's...
And then McCaffrey, I mean, he was number 1 last year.
He's 6 this year.
Well, yeah, he keeps getting hurt. I mean, so you got to worry about injuries, and you got to, if they're injury prone, maybe stay away from them. But whatever. It's, to me, I just kind of go with the best available and roll the dice that way. But it should be a fun year, and we'll see. I think I got Brian Kirk, 9. He's going to be playing with us this year, so
that's cool.
That'd be fun.
So, and then let's just finish out top 5s on these. And again, this is just for the benefit of those of y'all who are getting ready to get into your fantasy team and might find this interesting. You have plenty of access to all kinds of cheat sheets online. This particular one is fantasypros.com. So wide receivers, we've got Jamar Chase at number 1, Justin Jefferson number 2, CeeDee Lamb at number 3, Dallas boy right there, Nico Collins number 4, Puka Nacua number 5. So that's who you want to be looking for on the wide receiver line. Tight ends, Brock Bowers, George Kittle, Trey McBride, Sam Laporta, and Mark Andrews round out the top 5 on that. So I always have so much fun. I think I had my own team, maybe 1 or 2 years, but for me it's more fun just to kind of help him with his team, and we'll do the draft on my birthday, and it'll be a lot of fun that evening. So,
well, it's good to see Adam Richmond. He's in the chat room, and that's another cool thing is Rocklahoma's coming up, and we can't wait. Our band will be playing Rocklahoma. It's going to be an electric weekend because for one, I get to take those days off. I don't have to work Thursday or Friday.
Me neither.
So I get a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Good 4-day weekend.
Oh yeah, man.
And I so much need it.
Me too.
These weekends go so fast. I mean, 3-day weekends if you work is the best. I mean, you got to have them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it should be a law mandated that weekends have to be 3 days.
But if you guys want to check in about all things Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma, check into those guys.
SurvivingRocklahoma.com.
Check them out. They're on Facebook, and just hit like, follow, and you'll get all the information you need for Rocklahoma. We are excited. We can't wait to play Rocklahoma. There's going to be a lot of cool bands there. Which are some of the bands? Let's talk a little bit. Let's
pull it up.
Yeah.
You got it on your side. You do that.
You pull it up on your side too.
No, I'm going to let you pull it up.
Well.
I'm too busy doing this. This is what I care about right now. You pull that up, and I'll entertain the masses with our fat Russian blue cat Charlie, who's contributing nothing to the funds of this family, but we don't care. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
We need to go check on Leo. He was kind of mowing around.
So we got we'll be playing Thursday. Sebastian Bach will be headlining on that Thursday night. We're gonna have, it's gonna be a hell of a pre-party. Mm-hmm. Sebastian Bach, Lita Ford, Trickster, Dee Snider of Twisted Sister was supposed to be there. We actually have thrown in a Twisted Sister song to play just for his absence. That way, at least we'll get a little bit of Dee Snider for that day. But Sebastian Bach is filling in for Dee Snider, and then Lita Ford, Trickster, Sebastian James, Rocket Science, that's us, and Crimson Love for that pre-party. And then Friday, Fist of Rage, One Night Stand, Dime Store Riot, Paralandra, the Banfield, Oronthani. Is that how you say that?
Orianthe. That's tricky.
Saliva, Dorothy, Hinder, Marky Ramone from the Ramones. He's going to be playing Ramone songs. The Darkness, which is going to be fun. Yeah. Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson. I mean, back-to-back scary shows right there, right? Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson, and then in the Friday night will be Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh.
And headlining Saturday is Breaking Benjamin. 3 Days Grace will be on that stage. Knocked Loose, Tom Morello, Starset, Citizen, Soldier. Looks like Aaron Jones, Drowning Pool, which we've had them on Tulsa Music Stream.
Heck yeah.
10 years. I like 10 years. Return to Dust, 936. Van Halen, which is a Van Halen tribute band. Fox and Veed, Internal Frequency, Waves in April, and Angeles.
Wow.
Shine Down and 311 will be Sundays.
Yep.
Headliners, Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden will be there. Flyleaf, The Struts of Mice and Men, Dirty Honey, Tsunami, Wargasm UK, Mike Trant's White Lion. We love White Lion. Chain Saint, the Snakebite Whiskey, and Color of Chaos. And this is,
that's a good
Doug
lineup.
Burgess, DEB Concerts is
the GOAT.
He's the Thursday night throwdown, so get there early. Check us out. We'll be on the DEB concert stage.
Roadhouse stage.
No,
wait. I always get this wrong. Is it it's still the Roadhouse stage? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if they changed it or anything, but it's DEB stage.
Yep. It's Doug's stage, and it's the best stage out there. It's all a good time. You guys go have fun. Adam, we'll catch up with you soon and see what you got cooking. We'll catch up with all you guys. I've had a really good time. I don't know about you. It was definitely loosey-goosey, but and it was all over the place, but I liked it. I think it's going to be a little something for everybody. So I guess we'll go clean up the kitchen and check on the elderly cat and make sure he's doing well. You got anything else before we get out of here?
I don't. I appreciate you guys following our page. Definitely share our stream and see if we can get some more people to come to our page. We'll be on YouTube live, but we got to wait for that. And after 60 days, we'll be able to stream live on our Facebook page. Yep. There's always a waiting game with these fools, but you guys just keep being our little jive turkeys, and we'll be set. It will be good. That's our fan base.
We're walking the edge on that one. That's all right. It's all good. Jamie, Michelle, it's great to see you all as well. Adam, Stacy, Gay Fishback, everybody in here with us. Cindy Lee, Thompson, thanks for watching today. You guys have a great week. Please don't work too hard. By all means, keep your hands and hair out of pool drains, and just be safe. And we'll catch you next time on Down for Jive. Have a great week.
Shuck and jive.
See ya.